he looked and noticed that Kenny Clark's week 1 get off was 0.89 seconds, right? And then someone replied, what does that rank him among defensive tackles? And so Walker actually outlined it. So they get off of week 1. So Kenny Clark, 0.89. Chris Jones, obviously the all-pro superstar for the Kansas City Chiefs, 0.87.
Yes. Let that sink in for a second. That is the sound of an elite, game-wrecking monster being unleashed in the middle of the Dallas Cowboys defense. That data point is not just a cool stat. It is a declaration. It is proof positive that the trade for Kenny Clark wasn't just a good move. It was a genius move. We're talking about a get-off time that puts him in the exact same airspace as Chris Jones, the undisputed best defensive tackle in the entire league. This is the missing piece we've been talking about, and now we have the hard data to back it up. This is the kind of explosive, disruptive force that championships are built on. So if you are ready for a deep dive into why this single number changes everything for this Cowboys defense, smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed. This is a hype bomb of the highest order. Let's get into it.
The thing about defensive tackle position that makes it very interesting, it's harder to game plan for than a pass rusher, right? You can have a chip on an edge rusher all the time. You can slide protections. You can, have a quick passing game. But in terms of a run defender, defensive tackle, in terms of pass pro, there's not a whole lot you can do.
Let's go! That is the absolute key. That is why this is so huge. For years, offenses knew they could chip our edge rushers, slide protection, and get the quarterback time. But what do you do when the monster is coming straight up the A-gap a fraction of a second after the ball is snapped? You panic. That's what you do. An elite interior presence like Kenny Clark doesn't just create pressure himself. He creates one-on-ones for everybody else. Marshawn Kneeland, Osa Odigizua. They are going to eat, because offenses simply cannot account for the speed and power Clark brings right up the gut. It's unstoppable. We saw what Aaron Donald did for the Rams. We see what Chris Jones does for the Chiefs. This is that type of impact. This is the anchor that elevates the entire defense from good to potentially elite. But we have to be real here. Even the source pointed out that as great as he was, there's another level to reach.
Wasn't a perfect day from Kenny Clark. He had a really good day against Philadelphia, but even he said after the fact and recently, listen, I got a long way to go.
And that right there is the only crash in sight. Let's be real. The obstacle isn't another team. It isn't a flaw in his game. The obstacle is Kenny Clark's own impossibly high standards. Give me a break. The guy puts up elite get-off numbers in his very first game in a new system, and his reaction is basically, I can be better. Are you kidding me? That's the mindset of a champion, but it's also a reminder that he's still acclimating. He's still learning the nuances of this defense, still building chemistry with the guys next to him. The terrifying part for the rest of the NFL is that this dominant, 0.89 second version of Kenny Clark is just the baseline. He's only scratching the surface. My final verdict is this. Patrik Walker's data confirms what our eyes told us. Kenny Clark is a certified monster. The crash is simply that he's not even at full power yet, which is an incredible problem to have. I predict that by the time we hit the midpoint of this season, we won't be comparing Kenny Clark's get-off to the elite. He will be the standard of elite that others are compared to. He is going to be an absolute force. Thank you for tuning in. If you believe in this channel and want to support the content, the tip link is in the description below. Every single contribution helps keep this engine firing. Stay blue.